Okay, so hello everybody and welcome back to part two of our conversation with Arya. And we're going to be doing a couple more games, but Ayush, you want to get us started off first with nepotism and Arya's favorite actor and everything like that?
Yeah, so Arya, if you could talk a little bit about who your
Mhm.
favorite actor is, why, what are their favorite movies, etc. But also, I want you to talk a little bit about nepotism in the film industry because it's one of those
Okay.
industries where like the greater advantage you have and the greater
Yeah.
legacy you have in the industry, the easier it is for like your children down the line to get into that industry as well, even if they're not
hmm
as talented as somebody who mm, doesn't have a parent or a pre-existing condition in the industry, but
hmm
has actually put in the time to learn acting to a
hmm
high degree. So,
Yeah.
could you talk a little bit about the nepotism and how
Yeah.
it's like specifically prevalent in like the Tollywood film
Yeah.
industry?
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, you basically you got a lot of it. So nepotism is like that was actually a really big factor into why my parents were worried when I said I want to become a Telugu actor or an actor in general. There's nepotism in every industry, right? Whether it be business field, or whether it be film industry, or whether it be engineering, whatever industry you are going into, there will be nepotism. It's just that there is a lot more nepotism in the film industry than there is in the regular industry. So nepotism is basically right. There are a lot of nepotistic actors in the Telugu industry. In fact, I would say about 70 to 80% of all Telugu actors have some sort of nepotistic background. Um, you know, so nepotism is
You
basically
want to spoil Pooja Hegde for Nathan really quickly? What's her nepotistic background? You know?
Pooja Hegde actually has no
Her dad.
nepotistic background. Her dad
No,
isn't a
no.
director.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have nepotism.
Not yeah, and Pooja Hegde has no nepotism. Nathan, you got saved on this one, but yeah. A lot of the female actors have no nepotism. If I were to think of one, I wouldn't be able to because yeah, a
Shruti
lot of them don't.
Hassan and her dad.
Oh, yeah, Shruti Hassan and her dad. Samantha has a tiny bit of, but you know, yeah, Shruti Hassan, her, yeah, yeah, not many female roles have a lot of nepotism as compared to the male roles. So yeah, that's just a little bit on nepotism. And for the audience doesn't know, nepotism is just, let's say my dad is some huge movie star and director and all those different types of things, and I wanted to become an actor. I'd get the opportunity like that, right? I would have a future basically all planned out for me. Um, so yeah, it's not like my dad, right? It's not like he's a big producer or a big director or a big actor, right? He's just a regular dude that has a regular job. And the same thing with my mom. Although my parents do know a couple of people, but we're not related to them, right? We're not like, I can't go and be like, yo, give me a chance at this movie. I can't say that because I'm not blood related to them. We just happen to know them like that. So yeah, that's a little, and it's just the fact that my my parents and my dad knew a lot of people in the industry that failed. The industry isn't easy. The industry only holds people that the industry only holds people that are talented, not that come from nepotism. That's what I realized. Right? You can have the biggest nepotistic actor, and if they don't act well or if they don't choose proper scripts, no one's going to see their movies. Right? People only like to see good forms of art, and the hard work you put in. That's the only way you'll gain respect in such an industry like this. You have to be able to cater to all audiences. You have to be able to know the design and the techniques and all those different types of things. You have to be able to know who your audience is to make a film or to act in a film or to edit a film, all those different types of things. So that's a little about nepotism and the importance of the Telugu industry and what you have to do. Calling on favorite actors, Nitin knows this. I'm a huge Junior NTR and Mahesh Babu fan. I absolutely love them. Both of them I would consider are nepotistic actors, but at the same time, a part of me says that even though they come from a nepotism background, it feels like they have gained their spot in the industry, I would say. Junior NTR and Mahesh Babu both went through many struggles to make it, especially Junior NTR. Growing up, he wasn't as good looking as, Mahesh Babu or anything like that. He just looked, like every other dude, right? He used to be very, very chubby and all those different types of things. But you see him now, and I don't think you guys know how he looks, but you see him now, and he's just a lot more changed. He went through this process of, working out and all those different types of things, and he lost all his weight. And apart from just their acting, I like them as for the script selection. I like them for their personality as well. Their philanthropic efforts and all those different types of things. So I like them as human beings. But really, if I really, 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 really want to dial it down to my favorite actors, I really like self-made actors, and kind of what Yush was saying earlier, right? You have to be able to provide the best art for the audience, right? And the only way you're going to do that is if you go through all the struggles to become the actor, right? No one should be able to have it as easy as, okay, let me call up a director really quickly and tell him to produce my son tomorrow, or tell him to direct my son tomorrow, or tell him to act along with my son tomorrow to build popularity to the movie. That's not how that actor's future isn't gonna work out. Or if it does, it's gonna take a lot of tries and movies just to make sure that they give their best piece of art, and that's basically a little bit about I really like self-made actors, and self-made actors are actors like Vijay Deverakonda. Nitin knows I like him a lot. Kartikeya, Sharvanand, Vishwak Singh. A lot of these actors are actors that a lot of Telugu audience hasn't heard of, right? Because they don't make your average Telugu movies. They don't make your routine, crack police beating all of everyone's ass type movies, or they don't make their routine love stories. They don't make those type of movies. No, they make unique movies that they know the Telugu audience will like. Arya is he's amazing. And a fun fact about Arya, he actually I feel some sort of connection to him, not just him, but any self-made actor, because they made it, right? They went through all the struggles to become an actor. They went through auditions. They went through, begging outside of directors' houses. They went through all those different types of things. And it's just at the right time that, with their correct relations that they made throughout their career, with their auditions, with all those different types of things, that they got a spot in the industry. And a man like Arya, he's born in India, but he was raised in the USA. He's raised in California, actually. And how he, moved from here to India, he studied at some state university. I think San Francisco State University. After that, he's actually a college dropout. He quit and he went to India to pursue his actual, what he wanted to do. And boom, he made it because he believed himself, and he's from the US too. And I feel like I can relate to a lot of that. So, but I know I like Vijay Deverakonda, Arya, Vishwak Singh, Sri Vishnu, all the different types of actors. Sharvanand and that love. I think they're all great actors. Yeah, self-made actors is the main point here. Yeah.
So are your favorite actors like only male, or do you have like a few, or do you have like favorite actresses?
Yeah, female actresses. Okay. Female actresses, like, I learned to respect female actresses after I saw many performances. 8th grade me wouldn't like female actors as much as I like male actors. The way I look at female actors and male actors, I view them the same. The only part I don't like about female actors, and this is not to blame the female actors, but this is to blame the people who create the story or the way the Telugu film industry works, is they don't give much importance to the female actors. And Nitin probably knows what I'm talking about. You guys too. You guys have seen Bollywood. You guys have seen some of the roles that they play. Some of them are just useless. Some of them are like, why are they even here? It's like they have a total screen time of like 10 or 20 minutes in total, compared to the male actor who has like the whole entire time. He has 2 hours 30 minutes, and this female actor only has 1 hour. It's only female actor only has 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So that's just a little bit about that. But I enjoy a lot of female actors. In fact, I was just rewatching a couple scenes from Love Story today. Sai Pallavi is a great actor. I was watching her interview the other day, and she said, I want the Telugu film industry to not revolve around looks, but to revolve around how you act. The best, and I will get to this later because this is the main point I want to talk about. But she basically touched upon that point. I like Sai Pallavi. I like Rashmika Mandana. I like all those different actors. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're all great. I think a lot of our female actors are great in the Telugu film industry.
So in AP language, right, we actually had to do an essay about woman superheroes. So he gave us like a list of like 7 or 8 documents. It was the synthesis essay. You kind of had to create your own argument based on the documents, and you had to create an argument for why Marvel, or just the film, like the US film industry in general, Hollywood, should increase the presence of woman superheroes in films. So do you know any films where in Tollywood there's a woman superhero, and if there aren't that many, why don't you think there aren't that many? Like, do you think like, I don't know.
I actually
prefer male superheroes.
I mean, I'm impressed with your question. I actually really, really like it. The first glimpse of actually like woman superpower that I saw in a Telugu film industry was actually in Crack. Nitin knows what I'm talking about, because Shruti Hassan had her own fight scene in the movie. It's not every day that you see a woman in a movie, right? Beat thousands and thousands of guys up. She did that in that scene. A lot of people saw it as stupid. Actually, a lot of people saw it as like, this is unrealistic. This is not real. This is it shouldn't be happening. It's like, it just looks stupid on the screen. But no, I really liked it. I saw a little bit of that. I saw a little bit of that in
What about Oh Baby?
Oh Baby, I was about to just say that. Yeah, Oh Baby was great. Samantha played the role there. That's something I really like about Samantha too. Actually, if I mentioned that she's one of my favorite actors too. She picks a lot of unique scripts that only pertain to roles that actually have female roles. Samantha in Oh Baby, she talked about like, I wouldn't say she was a superhero that beat thousands and thousands of guys up, but it was her own movie. There wasn't there wasn't a male lead role, or there wasn't a mass number song, or there wasn't any fights. It was just a simple story about an old lady who transforms into a young lady, and her journey, and how she enjoys that kind of life of being an old lady, and just kind of the lessons that she learns. I was gonna say another one that actually I'm sure all of us saw, Bahubali. The role played by Ramya Krishnan in Sivagami. Sivagami was Bahubali's mom. All of us saw that movie, and I'm sure all of our parents and all of us were impressed by her performance. She had a very dominant role in that movie, which I actually really, really enjoyed. When she put her foot down, she's like, Kartapa, right? The whole entire theater, silence. The whole entire court in the movie, silence, right? So it's like, that kind of impact that a female can give and still impact the audience is actually what I really like. When I become older, right? Let's say I make it as an actor. All my scripts, I want there to be equivalent role between the male and female, because I want that kind of naturality, right? I want to be acting in realistic movies that don't have 80% male dominance and a 20% female dominance. No, I want them both to be the same. So, and coming back to your second question, Ayush, you don't see this every day in the Telugu film industry. And you don't see it because our Telugu film industry, the way it operates is they like to see all these Telugu heroes beating thousands and thousands of guys up. They want it to be fully revolved around Telugu heroes. They want them to have good looks. They want them to be able to say punch dialogues. All those different types of things. For me, I like the 50-50 type effort between a male and female role, and I see a lot of those in Malayalam movies or Tamil movies. It's all about that. So yeah.
So yeah, just if I can comment really quickly, like one of the common things that you see in the Indian film industry is that they like picking very pale girls. So that's what they see like on the screen, because that's what the film industry thinks is what people want to see. They want to see really, really pale girls. And even if there is like a darker skinned girl, they're always associated with like a lower class of people. Because when you look at like Pushpa, Rashmika, she's really pale, but then in this movie she's like part of a lower class, so they had her like put on a fake tan and all that kind of stuff. So So just really quickly, if you could talk about some of like the stereotypes that are within the movie
Oh,
industry,
for
and then we'll
sure.
get to one game that I have. So like more about how difficult it is to get in, how they judge,
Oh
how your
yeah,
nose look, how everything like that. So
yeah,
just quickly talk about that would be great.
yeah, for sure. Um, thank you for asking this question. This is something I want to talk about. So, like Nathan said, there are a lot of stereotypes for Telugu people, right? It's so you. I'm sure all of us are taking a trip to India, right? And let's say an actor like Shah Rukh Khan, for example. You don't see every single person on the street looking like Shah Rukh Khan, right? There and there, you see maybe one in every hundreds of people look decently similar to Shah Rukh Khan or something was that resembles him. So, but mostly, and there's nothing wrong in doing this. You see a woman that is not the most pale person, or you see a male that is the most pale person, or you see a man that is balding, or you see a man that has like a nose like this, or you see a man that, just not the. Everyone's different in their own in their own looks, right? Looks is something you can't control. It's about how you present yourself, right? You can be the ugliest man alive, but you can present yourself in the most wonderful and the most diligent and the most um, you know um, I would say realistic manner possible, and that's good enough, right? Looks isn't something you can control. So the way the industry works is, honestly, to me, I find it stupid, and it seriously does make me it does make me a little bit mad. um there have been so many movies where they've just portrayed these dark-skinned people as poor, and you see the hero as fair-skinned. So it's kind of like they portray like the the dark-skinned people here and the pale skinned people up here. Why isn't it the opposite? Why isn't it that the pale people can be here and that the dark skinned people can be here, right? Why doesn't our industry work like that? That's what I wondered. I wondered that a lot, and it's insane the way they just they judge people. The process of becoming an actor is so hard. It's so hard. Many people don't know that effort that an actor puts in to become an actor. Some people don't even have a home to live at because of how much time they spend trying to become an actor. Some people don't even have a family that supports them. Some people suicide because they can't make it and that was their last resort, or they just can't see themselves in a job where there's like a 7 to 5 job where they're just sitting there working at an ID desk. Some of them can't do that. So the way our industry works is like, if you're pale, you already have an advantage. If you're dark skinned, you have a disadvantage. So they always portray these types of people like that. And this is why I like Vijay Sethupathi a lot. Vijay Sethupathi is a Tamil hero, and he's dark skinned. And he's one of the best actors that we have in all of India. North Indians like Shah Rukh Khan, actors like Shah Rukh Khan are going up to Mr. Vijay Sethupathi and meeting him. That's how good of an actor he is. So the way I view it is, for the 2 hours and 30 minutes screen time that you have or more, when you look at the screen, you should be seeing. So let's say I'm watching. Let's say I'm acting in a movie, right? My goal is to sell my character to the audience. My role, I'll talk about this a little bit later, of the strategies, is to be living in that character. For the time that you see me on screen, you shouldn't see me as you shouldn't point to the screen and say that's Arya Chalasani up there, right? You just say, no. Let's say my name is like, I don't know. Let's say my name is like Vikram in a film. You just say that's Vikram. I only see him as Vikram in this film. I don't see him as anyone else. Those are the best actors. Ones that you can see as that actor. Ones that you can see as that character, compared to ones that you see as an actor. There's a huge difference between a character and an actor. A character is someone you're living as. An actor is someone who you're mocking, who you're acting as. So the term acting or actor, I don't view acting and actor as acting and acting, actually. I view acting and actor as someone who lives in the role of another. So yeah, that's just a little bit about it. And the film industry is very, very, very judgmental, right? If your nose is too big, they'll tell you. if your nose is too big, they won't let you in. If if you're balding, they won't let you in. If your ears are too big, they won't let you in. If your eyes are too small, they won't let you in. It's all those different types of things. It's a very, very hard industry to get into. And that's why, coming back to my previous point of self-made actors, is why I respect self-made actors so much, because they really made it and they went through all the struggles.
I feel like even away from like the Indian film industry and even like American, like Hollywood, like about like you have to be like this perfect person to like get a job like acting. Like some celebrities or actors nowadays, they'll literally get like plastic surgery or like get like breast implants or like nose jobs just so they can like become this like perfect like actor or perfect person in a sense, just so that it'll like boost them in the rankings or something, so that they'll have a higher chance of like getting.
And it's like, you should be confident with what you have.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to go down to the plastic surgeon and say, I don't like my eyes, or I don't like my nose, and give me a plastic surgery so I can look like Tom Cruise, or so I can look like Shah Rukh Khan, or so I can look like Mahesh Babu. You shouldn't ever be in that position. Your looks are your looks. It's how you sell yourself to the audience. And I have noticed a change in the way Telugu audience use some certain things, right? You can have the best looking actor, right? Acting isn't about just going on screen and saying a couple dialogues, right? No. Acting is about living in that character. So what I've noticed is that happens a lot in a lot of Malayalam movies or Tamil movies, which is why I've spiked on my interest for watching those movies, right? Where there's actually good acting. For me, a good movie is one that has good acting. That's all I look for in a movie nowadays: good acting. Does it have good acting? Does it have good acting? So yeah, that's kind of how it works, and I hope to be the change, right? I don't consider myself the ugliest, but I don't consider myself, like Tom Cruise or anything like that. I'm just myself, right? I don't want to change anything about my looks. I don't want to do anything like that, right? I just want to present myself in the best manner possible, and I want to sell myself to the audience.
Okay, perfect. So we're definitely going to be taking this to 3 parts because we want to continue talking with you. So first thing that I want to do is let's get into like our next game. So I'm going to play like a really, really, really short snippet of a song, and I want you to guess the song title and the movie that it's from.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, I'll play the first one.
Oh, it's from Love Story and Ningen. No, I forgot this. It starts with, okay, Love Story songs. I didn't actually memorize the song, but I just know the movie because I saw it in theaters. But it's like something like that. Yeah, it's like something. Yeah, it's like the something. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Next one.
Music in that movie was spectacular. Yeah. Choti Baat, Choti Baat.
And the movie?
Yeah. From Maharshi, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Next one.
Inkem Kavali from Gita Govindam.
Okay. Rishi, I think you can see now how good he is at guessing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. This one's a hard one.
Gudilo Marilo from Duvara Jagannatham. Or DJ.
I don't know how you got that one. Okay, next one.
Vachinde from Fida.
Yeah. Okay, last 2. This one was an easy one.
Super Machi from Sanna Satyamurthy.
Yeah. Okay, last one. This one should also be an easy one.
Rowdy Baby from Mahari 2.
Okay, yeah, you got all of them. So, let's end this off with Ayush. Let's go with the question about story scenes versus dancing scenes. So you can go ahead and ask that one.
Yeah. So, in every like Hindi movie, you can kind of see where there is a ton of music, right? There's a ton of music scenes where there's dancing, the boy and the girl get together, etc., etc. And in the United States, what I've noticed is that they kind of separate those two movies where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have one movie solely based on plot, right? You have like Mission
Mhm.
Impossible. There's no dancing, anything like that involved. And then there's the musicals like Hamilton, where it's pretty much all just music.
Music, yep.
But I think the Indian film industries are unique where they kind of blend those two together,
Mhm.
right? So can you talk a little about, which one do you prefer? Which one do you like more? Which one do you like the plot-based scenes more? Do you like dancing scenes based more? And also, what do you think of like that combination, combining them together versus having them in like two separate movies?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So for me, it works like when I look at a movie, I look solely for the character. And maybe I'll talk about this a little bit more in part 3. But for me, story and character always comes first. Next will be songs. That's just kind of how I view a movie, right? It's but a part of me also likes the music and the songs sometimes more than the actual story, because the songs and the dance and based on the hero, right? If you have a hero like Allu Arjun or Junior NTR or Ram Charan, and you already know that they're gonna dance so well in the songs, so you'll go for the movie to see their unmatchable dance steps in that song, and if the songs are good. The songs in Telugu film industry or Hindi movie in Bollywood have a huge impact on the way the audience views the film actually, or how the audience perceives or comes to the film. The songs are actually what drag a lot of the audience into the movie and what makes it a blockbuster sometimes actually, Ayush. Um, um, a prime example of this was Allah Vaikunta Paramlo. And Nitin, because of Pooja Hegde's likes, but that's probably the reason why you came to the theaters. But for a lot of the audience, it was because of the Chartbuster songs. And Chartbuster basically means Chartbuster is like you guys know how like albums work in the Telugu and Indian film industry, right? And the album in the Indian film industry is just from a movie. It's compared to the regular American music industry. All these artists like Drake and Travis Scott releasing like albums full of like 20 songs. The Indian film industry, it's like 5 or 6 songs like a movie, and the album cover is the movie title's name. So the way that those two works are different. And Chartbuster is like when the composer goes 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 on all the songs, meaning all the songs are a hit to the audience. So a lot of these songs are released a month, like 3 months before the movie releases, and it kind of compels the audience and drags them into the movie, makes them want to come and watch the movie. And especially if you have a Chartbuster album with a dancer like Allu Arjun, they're going to want to come to the movie to see Allu Arjun dance to those songs. And especially for a fan, right? Like I said, I am a fan of Mahesh Babu and Junior NTR. And I also like, for those two actors in particular, I don't look at, they're just fans. Those types of actors make a lot of routine Telugu movies, and Telugu movies that they know they have to make to reach out to the Telugu audience. So for me, dancing and songs for those types of movies and those types of heroes are important. Because it warms your heart to see your favorite hero dance like that, or with a heroine and all those different types of things. It's so nice. It's just so nice to see them like that. But then you have the self-made actors, which I really like as well, and which for them I look for just the story and characterization in general, how they play that character and their efforts that they put into the movie. So that's a little bit like that, and it is really, really different, Ayush, compared to the Hollywood film industry. I don't get that same feeling when watching a Hollywood film than I do when I'm watching a Telugu movie or a Hindi movie or Malayalam movie or Tamil movie, So it really differentiates Indian cinema as a whole, and it puts that barrier between, Hollywood and Indian cinema, and then you have like the Nollywood, which is like the African American cinemas, and then you have like the France films and Russian films. It puts the barrier between every single film industry. So yeah, that's just a little bit about it.
Okay, perfect. So that concludes part 2. Please come back for part 3 where we'll talk more about how Arya plans to make his stride into the movie industry, the difference between what he's describing as an actor versus a character and some examples of that. And we'll, of course, wrap it off with our tips question, which is what we always do. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
That's our show for today. Now roll the credits. High School Not So Much a Musical is hosted by Ayush Agarwal, Nitin Jaladanki, and Rishi Sinha. Narration by Samhit Padala. Music from Louis Luang Relaxation Cafe, Tune Pocket, and Infraction. If you like the show, please recommend it to your friends and family. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.